We have an unbelievable amount of respect for Kansas and their program and Coach Self. And obviously, I think they're as talented as any college basketball team in the country this year. It's a huge challenge, but one we welcome. You know, our team needs to be challenged. That's how we figure out where we're at. And our non-conference challenges us consistently. And I'm not sure they'll be any bigger than the one against Kansas.
Is that good, though, to have this test? Do you like it this early in the season, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're still an evolving team. But, you know, you want to play against teams that force you to take a realistic look at where you're at. And you want to meet those challenges head on and give your best effort.
You talk about your team being a work in progress. Are these early season tournaments good for a young team to kind of, you're cloistered together, you play good competition, you're away from school for a little bit? Is this something that could kind of bring the team together a little bit?
Yeah, I think anytime you travel together for an extended road trip and you're going to have two big-time games, you're together a lot. We'll get to celebrate Thanksgiving together. And not only do we hope to grow with our own core performance, but hope to grow together while we're off the court as well.
Coach, when you looked at the film or you look back at Saturday, what did you see maybe that we didn't see Saturday that you said, hey, that's something good we can build on?
Well, you know, I think at home we've consistently played pretty good defense against some unconventional offenses. You know, I think the big thing for us is we got to take better care of the ball. And a lot of the breakdowns that we've had defensively have been a result of not executing offensive efficiently. And so our care for the ball has to be a lot better.
Steve, do you believe in a bounce effect as far as, you know, half the game didn't go your way offensively and then all of a sudden it seemed like your team really turned it on? Can that be a springboard, so to speak?
Well, hopefully. I mean, certainly offensively we were much better in the second half. To be quite frank with you, in the first half we got good looks. I mean, we counted them up. We missed 8 layups in the first half, and those are shots you have to make. And then we missed 8 open three-point shots, and it'd be great to make all 8. But normally we're not an 0 for 8 team. The good thing was our defense didn't break, and we didn't let our offense, affect our defensive mentality, and that's part of the growth and maturation process.
Coach, you shook up the lineup a little bit. Do you think you'll keep doing that, or are you looking to try to get a set lineup? I mean, it seemed Sakar's good off the bench or starting. But.
Yeah, you know, what you would hope on a day-to-day basis is that you'd see, you know, separation created to where a starting lineup is obvious. I'm not sure we've had that, save for a few guys. But you know, again, the strength of our team is our team, and any different game, different guys can step up. We don't try to get caught up into, you know, who's a starter, who's not. We try to get caught up in who's performing well and giving us the best chance to win. And over the course of a short season, that's been different guys at different times.
You got a chance to study Kansas a little bit, and what specifically is the biggest challenges they present?
Biggest would be probably the right way to say it. I mean, they're huge inside. It's a double-edged sword because their front court puts amazing pressure on the rim, and they look to get it inside to the Lawson brothers and Udoka, and they're very efficient when they get it deep. But they generally are at their best when they're hitting threes. And so when you're talking about their perimeter, I mean, Vic had a game where he's 8 for 8 from the three-point line. It's scary. Quentin Grimes, who we recruited very heavily, is an elite scorer. Dotson has been really good as a freshman. So it's not like, you know, take away the inside game and you'll be fine, or take away the outside game and, you know, you'll be fine. There's a reason why most people think they're as good a team as there is in the United States, and that they can hurt you in so many different areas.
Chartuni really stepped up in the second half. What are you expecting from him against Kansas?
Well, hopefully that's a game and a performance that he'll build upon. Again, it takes a while for new guys to find their footing. I thought in the second half he looked the most comfortable that he looked, and I'm not just talking about him making shots, just the way he was, the way he was carrying himself, his poise, his presence, and that's what we need for him as a senior.
And then, I mean, Markus had a lot of turnovers early on. Do you expect Chartouni being more comfortable, kind of alleviating some of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously with the way our roster is right now, we have 2 guards. And so there's going to be times where Markus has to be in there alone, and there's going to be times where they're going to be in there together. And regardless of that, our team as a unit, not just them, has to take better care of the ball.
Coach, when you looked at Chartouni to bring him on as a grad, what appealed to you about it when you were looking to bring him here? What were the characteristics?
Well, he was an older player. He was a pass-first guard. His defensive numbers were very good. His steal rate, his assist rate, all were very good. And he was a wonderful young man. And he's a great kid, and he gives us something different in the backcourt with the way he plays and the way he sees the game. And we just got to get him, completely comfortable doing it at the level he's doing it now. And that's no disrespect to Fordham, but with the teams that we've played and will continue to play, it's a new level.
And he's got a cool last name, I was going to say.
Yeah, Chartouni. I've heard, it's the only last name that's butchered more than his is mine. So, but it's nice to have somebody that you can share that in common with.
Did it take you a while to pronounce his correctly?
No. When you're recruiting, you got to get it right the first time. You can't mess that up. So you make sure you ask the appropriate amount of people. So when you do speak to them, finally, you're saying it the right way.
Steve, I know you can't get wrapped up in rankings and stuff like that, but what does this level of game in that arena or this spotlight, so to speak, do for your program?
Well, it's a big-time game on a huge stage against, a national powerhouse, and those are the type of games that we want to play in. We want our program to be associated with. It's a game that, people are going to be watching, and, I'm confident that we'll perform well, and we know it's going to be difficult too, but, that's why you come to Marquette. That's the things that you should want. If you're a coach or a player, you should want to play in big stages and big-time games.
On a lighter note, my daughter was at the game with me the other night and said that you look like James Corden. Have you ever gotten that before?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I'm nearly as good at carpool karaoke. So maybe I should start eating more vegetables.
You said you were more athletic.
Yeah.
That was her quote.
Wow, she's got a way with words. She's got a way with words. You're making me feel really good. No, I'm just playing.
No, really excited. I mean, in my opinion, I think we have one of the toughest schedules in the country. It's an unbelievable experience to be able to play against top-tier teams like, Kansas, Indiana, Kansas State. I mean, an opportunity to play to play Tennessee or Louisville. So we're really excited, to have this opportunity in New York City on the biggest stage. So we're really excited for that.
But what would a win against a program like that do for a team like you guys from Marquette?
I think it'd be great. It would give us great momentum for the rest of the season, leading on to our other non-conference games. So getting a win out there against either one of those 2 teams would be really good for us.
Markus, you talked about this team being a work in progress, working in the new guys. What's the biggest thing you want to see your guys improve on in these couple games coming up?
I think just no matter what, no matter what the score is, just continue to compete each and every possession. We're going to get knocked down sometimes, but to have that mentality of, we're going to fight no matter what, I think is something that, we're continuing to get better at, but something we need to have in our DNA.
Markus, how are you and Joseph you getting more comfortable together? That probably takes some time when you got a new guard coming in the backcourt, but it looked like that was coming together Saturday.
Yeah, it has been. Joseph's a great player, so it's just going to take him a little bit of time, to get used to, playing with the guys and playing against opposing teams that we're playing. So I have no doubt that he's going to, get in our groove, and, he showed it on Saturday, so he's only going to go up from here, as well as the rest of the other guys that are new on our team.
How does he help you? How do you play differently at all, or how does he maybe help you when you're out there?
He's a really cerebral player. He's very intelligent on the court. So, him being able to pick his spots, trying to help me get open shots is something that he's really, really talented at. And, I'm really happy that he's on our squad and that I can learn from him in that aspect as well.
I don't know if you pay attention to the rankings, but playing the number 2 team in that venue, and I know you like the bigger venues and the brighter lights, what does that do for you guys as a team?
You don't even have to look at the rankings. That Kansas is one of the top teams in the country. they've deserved that right. I mean, they've come year after year, you know, with a very competitive team, with great recruiting classes, greatly coached by Coach Self. So, you know, just having the opportunity, you know, to go toe-to-toe with them, I think is going to be really good for our team. Just to be able to compete against the best of the best in the country is something we really look forward to and something we really take pride in here at Marquette. So I know we're going to be up for the challenge, and I'm really excited for that.
And they have size, but they can also hit the three, so I imagine it's going to be tough to try to take one thing away because they can still do a lot of other things.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we just have to try our best to do the things that we know will help us put us in the best position to win. So we're going to do whatever our coaches are telling us to do. We're going to follow our game plan and know that if we take those little steps, that we'll be put in a good position.
Turnovers have been a bit of an issue. What's the team looking to do to fix that against Kansas?
Not turn over the ball. I mean, that's pretty much the biggest thing is executing our offense, you know, trying to make sure we're getting the best shot, but while also staying poised and knowing that they're going to try and pressure the ball, heat the ball up. So just trying to stay poised in whatever we do.
I know you get amped up for every game, but is it a little more amped when you are playing a team like Kansas, the #2 team in the country? I mean, do you almost play, I don't want to say to their level, but you know what I mean, like step it up a notch?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because definitely playing against a team like that, it's definitely going to raise your level of play. So I think, you know, in doing that, we can't get too high or too low, that we have to just stay even keel and, you know, do the things that we do and follow our game plan. I think if we do that, we'll be just fine.
Marcus, sometimes basketball is a momentum game, and obviously the first half and the last game didn't go your way, but second half, do you feel like that can be a springboard once you guys finally started making shots?
Definitely. I mean, basketball is a game of runs, and, you know, there are going to be different times where the game calls for different things, but being able to impact the game not only on the offensive end, but doing other things that can impact the game, I think is really important. And our guys are slowly starting to figure that out, that you don't have to be just a one-track minded player, that you can do multiple things to impact the game. So, you know, that's just been an approach that we've had and we've been talking about, and we're going to do that as well as time goes on.
Do you think these early holiday tournaments can be kind of a bonding experience for the teams? You're so new, but it's still early in the season. Do you think that's a thing? Yeah,
I think it is. I mean, you know, just the fact that, you know, most kids our age are home with their parents, you know, having Thanksgiving dinner, but the fact that we're going to be able to spend time together as a team, I think is only going to expand our relationship, you know, get us closer. So that's something we all look forward to. I mean, we love being around each other. So, you know, just to spend the holidays together is really cool. And I know we're excited just to be in a place like New York during this time to play basketball.
Is there something you look forward to most for Thanksgiving when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm not sure what our people are putting together, but I know they're going to put together a great meal. But my personal favorite is pumpkin pie. I mean, my mom makes a mean pumpkin pie, so that's my go-to every time. I could eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but that's probably not the best thing right now to say. But no, I mean, I just know that we're gonna have a great time out in New York as a team. You know, growing, getting better, competing, and then we're gonna have a great meal as well. So I'm excited for that.
I was gonna say, do you have weigh-in on Friday morning?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have something going on. So I just definitely gotta watch the portions when we have our meal.
Exciting opportunity for us to really show where we're at as a team, and obviously it's a high-level match, and we wouldn't want it any other way. So we're really excited.
Do you think I asked Markus the same question, like, does your level of game kind of like rise to the level of a team like Kansas when you're playing a team like Kansas? Like,
it's going to have to. You got to rise to the occasion. It's a big stage, big game, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's another basketball game, so you got to treat it as that and just go out and give it your all. And whatever happens, happens. As long as you give your all, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. So that's, I mean, obviously we want to win, but I mean, you know, we're just going to go out and play hard.
Sam, you guys are talked about being a work in progress. What's the biggest step that you want to see the team make in these couple games in New York?
Coming together more as a team through adversity. Obviously, you know, when you're playing these big-time teams, there's going to be adversity that hits, whether the team goes on a run or, you know, there's a couple calls that don't go your way. You got to stick together and come even closer in those times and, you know, battle through it. And I think that's an area that we could get better at.
Defensively, this is kind of a really strong all-around team. What's kind of the key to stopping them or at least slowing them down?
Well, they can attack you in many ways. So, you know, they had the big fella down low, but they also really like to shoot threes. So it's kind of, you know, I mean, obviously you trade 3 for 2. So we're going to try to defend the three-point line as best we can and hopefully slow down the big fella down there as well.
Talk about coming together on the court, but does a week like this help you come together off the court also?
Yeah, I think so with Thanksgiving. us not being able to go home and spend time with our families. So it's a great time for us to, learn more about each other, come together, and just spend quality time with each other outside of basketball.
Do you have
in the second half of that game, the last game, and do you believe in a bounce back, or not a bounce back, but a bounce effect from something like that when you kind of figure it out?
Yeah, I think so. I think last game was great for us. We responded. It took us a little while to get going, but we responded in the right way and right manner, and I think that was a huge step for our team, whether people notice it or not, but we do. So we just got to take some of that momentum and bring it into this game on Wednesday.
Same thing. Ask Markus. Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving food item that you like every year, look forward to?
My mom makes cheesy potatoes. Big fan of that. And green bean casserole.
Really?
And tater tot casserole. I'm kind of like the casseroles. So, yeah. I like them all.